John Dunn was a dichotomy. I don't know what that word means, but that's what John was. And he owned a freighting station. If you wanted to go to Denver, you had to cross the Rio Grande River, and he had 2 bridges. Well, the water came out and washed both of the bridges away. So he rebuilt one of them, and he put a hotel on this side of it. So that, and he timed the trips to Denver so that it would be nightfall when you got to his hotel, so you had to stay in his hotel.
Yep.
John Dunn owned the whorehouse. He owned the freight station. He owned the bridges. He owned all the gambling.
I always wanted to have a casino and whorehouse.
What?
I always wanted to
Well,
own
you're halfway there.
casino and whorehouse, and I don't have either. Not own them. I've been in them.
I don't like whorehouses. They're time consuming.
Not always. But anyway.
John Dunn had two daughters, good-looking daughters. I interviewed one of them. She lived out there on Agua Fria. She was 90-something years old, and I promised John Dunn I would never tell these stories as long as his daughters were alive. And I think they're both dead because she was 90 years old when I interviewed her. She's got to be dead. But the only social place open to a stranger in Taos was the pool hall. So every time a new guy'd come to town, he'd check in the motel and go to the pool hall. Well, John Dunn owned the pool hall. And there was a guy by the name of Doughbelly Price, who was a pool shark. He was a realtor up there, but he broke horses for a living. He was short, like 5'2" or 5'3", stocky guy. Wrote a couple of good books, funny books. But when a new guy'd come to town, he'd go to the pool hall and start playing pool or something. And they'd call Doughbelly Price because he was the local pool shark. And Doughbelly Price would come over and they'd start playing for money. Well, when Doughbelly Price would get behind the 8-ball, and it looks like he's going to miss a shot, one of John Dunn's daughters would get up and walk by and brush against this stranger in town, and he'd look at it, and then Doughbelly Price would move his ball.
Oh.
That's.
Oh my gosh.
Max Evans told me that story. The office was a saloon or a salon. I don't know what a salon is, but that's what they had. And it was owned by Teresita Ferguson, Mabel, and Long John Dunn.
Oh, wow.
It was a bar. They had a bartender. They had food, but you couldn't go in there unless you were with one of those 3 people. It was a private bar. I mean, there'd be days when nobody went in there. But it was very private, and everybody wanted to go in there, but they wouldn't let them do it. I mean, it was Long John Dunn really is the one that was controlling all that. His name wasn't Dunn. His name was Vigil. He killed a couple of guys in Texas, and he was thrown in prison for murder, and the Sabine River flooded, and they let the prisoners out to help pack sandbags and things, and Long John jumped in on a log in the middle of the river, and bullets were splashing all around him, and he ended up at Elizabethtown across the mountains from Taos, and that's where Miami got his start over there, stealing money from those people.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden they hired Long John to bring the mail from Elizabethtown to Taos, and he liked Taos, and I wrote a book about Long John Dunn. I just never did print it. And I have the only contract that Long John said he ever signed was a contract with Max Evans to do. Max Evans wrote his biography, and Max Evans showed me that contract, and I bought it from him. It's in my vault. John Dunn said it's the only contract he ever signed. I had a tape recording of John Dunn's voice. He was 6'4", and he looked like a telephone pole. Had a wonderful voice, a deep Texas brogue, and he was talking at a party at Mabel's house, and he talked for about 30 minutes. I sold all my Taos archive, and that went with my Taos archive. But where are we?